up, guys? Jesse Jardine with Demigod Ascendancy here with another top 5. So today we got kind of a fun one, depending on what you believe or what you don't believe. I got top 5 Christian death metal or thrash metal bands. So I went to Catholic high school. I read the Bible a bunch of times. I don't really believe in that. I think there's some good things to take from it. And, you know, I don't tell anyone what to believe. I don't push my beliefs on anyone else. And I look at this stuff just the same way I look at deicide. Like, when I listen to that, I don't actually worship the devil or any of that shit. And I'm pretty sure they don't either. And when I listen to this shit, I don't worship Jesus or any of that shit either. But lyrical content aside, these are all wicked fucking bands, and you should check them out even if you think that Christianity is dumb or whatever else. So, yeah. Honestly, any kind of belief system that divides you from everyone else is dumb. So let's get right into it. With the most interesting of these that I can find, Vengeance Rising. So this whole Christian thing started with me and my buddy going to Arcade Records and buying Released Upon the Earth. Looked like metal, kind of looked weak a little bit. That's fucking awesome album, really dark. So we're going to go back and we're going to start with the Human Sacrifice, which is the album I probably know the least of. By looking at the front, you might not think it's Christian, but yeah, it is. So the main guy in this band, Roger Martinez, was on every album. He's the only guy, blah, blah, blah. He was an ordained priest, and he would have metal shows at his church. And there's a pretty funny music video. I'll play it now. Check it. That was great, wasn't it? Yeah, and he would have like fucking metal shows on the weekends after his Sunday mass, and he helped get a lot of these bands off the ground. And pretty much every one of these bands, pretty much every single one on the inside has Pastor Bob. There he is right there. I can maybe find a better picture of him. Pastor Bob, he's on the inside of every one of these tapes. I'm not going to pull him out, just take my word for it. He's on the inside of pretty much anything Christian around this time. Pastor Bob was all over it. Yeah, so after Human Sacrifice, which I don't know that well, they did Once Dead. Pretty sick. Destruction Comes. This is when they really hit their stride for me. This fucking album's awesome. You Can't Stop It, The Rising, Before the Time, The Sword. Yeah, we almost got in a car accident in Calgary listening to The Sword. Every song is too long. It's like there's like one or two riffs and it's way too long. If everything on this was like 2 minutes, it'd be like one of my favorite albums ever. It's a pretty funny little drum part, fucking Hide Under Pressure.
Play it fast, Chris! Look, man, I'm not paying you $3.35 an hour for nothing! Faster! Put a triplet, Chris! Look at me when I'm talking to you! Are you deaf? Chris, I just played a triplet!
Yeah, so they did those 3, which were all more like thrash metal. And then all of a sudden, Released Upon the Earth came out with a brand new lineup and this crazy shredder fucking virtuoso guy, and it's pretty much death metal. And this is the only reason I really care about this band, honestly. Like, the first song, Help Me. I remember being high on mushrooms, walking through the Medicine Hat forest, listening to that shit. But yeah, just Damnation of Judas and Salvation of the Thief. Yeah, so after those 4 albums, Roger Martinez, the heart and soul of the band, apparently renounced his Christian beliefs due to his anger with people involved in Vengeance Rising quitting after the Once Dead tour. And now he's an atheist or a Satanist. I don't know, that's neither confirmed nor denied. And he wants to he reformed the band to create new anti-Christian music, according to Metal. But it still says they're split up, and I haven't heard anything about that. But I would be pretty interested to hear someone who is an ordained priest that did 4 Christian thrash and death metal albums that now doesn't believe in that anymore and wants to put out a satanic record. That is interesting to me. All right, next up we got Deliverance. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know their first album. I only know Weapons of Our Warfare, which is a really killer album. This album's really good, almost more like power metal vocal style and delivery over like thrash metal. Crazy solos. Kind of reminds me of Heathen almost, if you ever heard of Heathen. If you haven't, you probably should. It's really good Christian thrash metal with power metal vocals. Apparently eventually they went industrial. They have a ton of albums. Moving on, we got Tourniquet. So this is one of those bands that you're either gonna hate or love the vocals. Probably hate. So I got into these guys through Stop the Bleeding. It's almost like speed metal on this, like begins with the Test for Leprosy. That's not even far from what it actually sounds like too. These guys are pretty sweet. They get more technical as they go, like Psychosurgery. Yeah, if you want to get into that Christian technical thrash metal, then you're definitely going to want to check out Tourniquet. Alright, so next up we got Mortification. So, found out about these guys through this tape we got. Mortification. I would always laugh at this because it's an awesome album. It's like almost, it's death metal, but the first song, Until the End, is awesome. I'd always laugh though because the kick drums, it sounds like someone's like dribbling a basketball. Yeah, it's pretty funny. I've never really heard kicks like that again. Yeah, this is like really awesome fucking death metal. Brutal Warfare is good as fuck, Bathed in Blood. The next album's really good too, Scrolls of Megaloth. Check out that Mortification if you want some good old school Christian death metal. So next we got a little bit more of an unknown one. This one's kind of funny too. Incubus. So these guys are now called Opprobrium. They changed their name. A lot of people don't even know that these guys are Christian. They didn't really pump it as much as these other bands. You know what's also funny is everyone's heard of the rock Incubus. Those guys are also Christian. What's with all these Christian bands being called Incubus? What the fuck is up with that? But yeah, this Incubus is way better than that Incubus. So first off we got Serpent Temptation. You can even look at the album cover. It's called Serpent Temptation. You got Adam and Eve dead and the snake right there. Battle of Armageddon is fucking awesome. Then we got Beyond the Unknown, which is one of my favorite album covers. Like, fuck, that's so cool. you would never look at that and think that's Christian. I think that's the point to being a good Christian band, and like not having like Jesus in the names and stuff, but certain accuracy. The Deceived Ones. It was pretty funny. Randy from Crack Whore and Abuse. He probably won't watch this ever. He might be on one of these episodes later. Who knows? But me and him always get drunk on the weekends and fucking stay up till like 5 a.m. arguing about thrash metal. And we got in a big argument one day that these guys were Christian or not. And I showed him the lyrics to the first song, denied it up and down. And then we went to the lyrics of the Deceived One. Followers of damnation march on in their darkest ways, failing to see and admit the truth that Christ left for us today. So, can't argue with that shit anymore, Randy, can ya? Yeah, immortalized. Anyways, he didn't want to admit they're Christian, but yeah, they definitely have Christian themes and Christian lyrics. Yeah, and then in 96, apparently they re-released Serpent Temptation with a even cooler album cover, and now they're called Opprobrium, and they re-released Serpent Temptation under Opprobrium too in 2016. Like, how many fucking times are you gonna re-release the same album? Pretty weird, honestly. But yeah, I don't know any of the earlier Opprobrium stuff either, but I'm sure it's Christian. Yeah, Christianity. Alright, well, anyways, check those out if you're in the mood for some good Christian values in your thrash and death metal. It's been Demigod Ascendancy with another top 5. I bit my tongue there. Thank you very much. And maybe you need some Jesus in your life. Y'all need Jesus.